Thank you again for choosing Trap Cadillac Chevrolet.
Trap Cadillac Chevrolet has been serving South Louisiana for over 50 years. That's right, 50 years. No matter how much Trap has grown, you can count on hometown feel, friendly service every time you stop it. Our unmatched service and diverse Chevrolet, Cadillac, and pre-owned inventory has set us apart as the preferred car dealer in South Louisiana. We're also known for our outstanding auto repair service, changing your oil quickly and easy financing.
We promise to always give the most in your auto buying experience here at Trap Cadillac Chevrolet in Houma.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And as you know, when we get these updated events, when we have events that are affecting our communities and/or when it happens in our schools, we want to make sure that we let you know what's going on. Welcome back to the program, Captain Brennan Mathern, Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office. Captain, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Keith.
We appreciate it. And listen, I know this wasn't during school hours, and anytime we have something that impacts or could impact our kids, it's a big deal. Thank y'all for being so responsive to the situation with this gun.
And that's exactly why we took it so seriously, because we never want there to be an incident that occurs in the school. But we did make an arrest on an incident that occurred Tuesday night. In fact, Tuesday evening around 8 o'clock, we had a call and we responded to Thibodaux High School. Now that is in the jurisdiction of Thibodaux Police Department, but because it was involving the high school and we do have security measures over there with our school resource officers, we responded to assist along with Thibodaux Police. Ultimately, we learned that two young men were involved in an altercation that evening. And this all occurred in the parking lot at Thibodaux High School's football stadium, so just right behind the school, but technically still in school grounds. And at some point during that altercation between these two men, another party showed up, that being 19-year-old Tylea Adams of Thibodaux. She was not a student at Thibodaux High School, but she showed up. She was related to one of the young men involved. And while she was on scene, she brandished a firearm. And as soon as she pulled the firearm out of her vehicle, people started scattering in all directions and everybody left the scene. So we reviewed footage, we got some eyewitness accounts, and ultimately made contact with Ms. Adams. And she was placed under arrest. She was charged with aggravated assault with a firearm and possession of a firearm in a violation of a firearm-free zone. She is actually at the correctional complex after her arrest, and her bail is set at $251,000. So Keith, this is obviously very serious charges when we're dealing with aggravated assault with a firearm, but also the fact that she had it on school grounds makes it doubly as concerning for us. So again, while this didn't involve a student and it wasn't inside the school, out of an abundance of caution, we sent additional deputies to the school today just to have some extra security measures in place. We are continuing to investigate this incident and all parties involved, and the Lafourche Parish School District is also continuing to investigate.
Yeah, and so no matter what time it is, it doesn't matter. When we're talking about school grounds, there are reasons why the laws have changed to make sure that we have protection. We have school resource officers. They are there. They are there during the day when school is in session. They're there for some of these after hours or early events that take place. But when things happen on school grounds, rather sacred ground for our kids, and we were going to make sure, because of the efforts and the energy that have been put forth, to make the laws the way that they are, to have presence with your officers, to be able to partner with Thibodaux Police Department. We're going to make sure that those areas are really monitored well and make sure that we're keeping that safe zone for the kids. And we want to let people know, whoever's listening to this, whatever it is that you want to do, you do on your own. We never want you to kind of have these kinds of incidents. But if you do, you need to know that if you're doing that on school grounds, that we're going to do everything in our efforts and energy to protect the kids, because that's what that's about.
No doubt. And look, unlike a school zone where, you know, the speed limit is reduced only during certain hours, a school property is a firearm-free and drug-free zone at all times. That's 24/7.
Right.
We do not want firearms anywhere near and certainly not on school property. And like you said, even if it's after hours. I mean, with football practices and extracurriculars happening before school and after school, you can never be too careful, as you said, Keith. And so, there's simply no room for drugs or firearms anywhere near school grounds. So in this case, we believe the appropriate action was taken, and we're going to continue to look at it and review it with our partners at the Lafourche Parish School District. And if any other arrests or any other activity comes from this, we'll be sure to update the story.
We appreciate that very, very much. And more importantly, you've done the other steps. And again, Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office working with Lafourche Parish School Board and with Thibodaux PD, we're going to make sure that we're sending extra officers. I love the fact that you did that the following day, which is today, to be able to show that we are making sure that the kids are safe. And we're going to continue to investigate, right? Because very often somebody knows something else that could have been going on with the two individuals that were having the argument. And we're going to continue to monitor. So, stay off of school grounds, wherever it is you want to have your difficulty, your gatherings, just don't do it on school grounds. And quite frankly, when they do their rounds and Sheriff's Office or Thibodaux PD go by, they're going to make sure that people leave school grounds if there's no reason for them to be there.
And the main reason we're letting everyone know, aside from the fact that we made an arrest, is to let parents know, because anytime you're dropping off your kids in the morning or picking them up in the afternoon and you see an increased police presence, certainly as a parent who has, two kids in Lafourche Parish schools, I mean, your alert certainly goes up and you want to know what's going on. So this is out of an abundance of caution that we placed deputies there, extra deputies at the school today, just to have extra security. There was no inclination or intelligence leading us to believe that there would be any sort of incident following this arrest last night. Again, it was simply out of an abundance of caution, but we wanted to be transparent with the public and let everybody know what was going on and what occurred last night.
Captain Thurman, we cannot thank you enough for all of the things that y'all do, for the partnerships that you have with the school board, with Thibodaux PD, and with the community as we're doing our job to keep everybody safe, especially our kids at school. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Keith.
All right, and that'll do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time, but don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.